All right, so this is part 2 of stepping into your public voice. I can't remember what I called it. Oh, say the weird thing. Say the weird thing. This is part 2. All right, so there's 3 parts. So you know that you're almost there. So in the second part, you've been listening to the hypnosis for a while, and it doesn't matter for how long. You can keep listening to the hypnosis throughout the length of the workshop. You can start this part after the 21 days, at least. It doesn't matter. You cannot get this wrong. So here it is. The second part of stepping into your public voice is making the choice that you're going to do it. Which sounds very, very simple, right? It is. It's very simple. It's making the choice that you're going to do it and making a declaration to yourself and the universe or God or whatever kind of friendly force you believe in. Making a declaration in front of you and the bigger you and putting it on paper. You can also, actually I'm not going to say you can, I'm going to say also make a little altar for it. Making an altar for your voice is very beautiful because you're going to organically start to tune into who your true audience is and the parts of you that resonate with them. And you'll start to tune into and bring into your life. And when you have an altar, it's so an altar can be so small. It can be just a corner of your desk or a little charm that you put on top of a book that you love. It can be so small, but it's just something that you look at every day and make sure that it's tidy. Make sure that it looks appealing and beautiful to you. And really that's it. You can put offerings on it for extra energy boost. It's always beautiful to have the elements on an altar. I like to leave candy on mine because I like my life to be sweet. But you really can't get this wrong. So make a little altar. And on that altar, you can put your declaration to step into your public voice. And you don't even have to be specific about it now. It can be as simple as I'm choosing to reach a bigger audience. I want thousands of people to hear what I say or something like this. You don't have to quantify it exactly, and there's no it's all relative to, wherever you're coming from. I'm kind of with you. Actually, I'm going to do another part. Hold on. And I just want to go in a little bit into how much you want to expand and also that it makes sense that it would be scary too, right? Visibility is scary. It feels vulnerable in and of itself. And there's historical reasons that kind of make sense with that. If you spoke out and said something that was taboo or incongruent with your tribe, back in the day, you could risk being exiled, or you could risk being burned as a witch, or face a kind of social isolation that would lead to certain death. All of that historically happened. But But now it's kind of different. You're not going to face like the same sorts of punishments for expanding what you want to say. It's not a life or death situation anymore. Like you could get, even if you got canceled, you can still put food on the table and you'll still have your friends. You know what I mean? Like, and that is a worst case scenario of being controversial on the internet or whatever. But the thing is that, like, if you're listening to this and you're like, and you like me and like you're inspired by anything that I've made, it's very likely that whatever you are making is going to be so centered around your heart that only good can come from it. And the world and your people like really, really need to hear your voice and see you. And it's actually like something that I have learned is that it's more dangerous to hide and like be invisible and quiet than it is to rub some people the wrong way by telling the truth. So, yeah, it's also very, very healing ancestrally to step into your voice for all of the reasons that I mentioned, and just the fact that having a public voice has been gatekept for so long. Like we live in a time like no other time where it's possible to for like anybody with a cell phone to create a broadcast that could possibly go around the world and touch millions of people. Like that's new. That's like really, really new. And I feel like our technology is like sort of faster than our ability to even like comprehend the magnitude of like what is possible like in this situation. And we definitely need more and more people with how do I say it? Like soft is the word that's coming up. Like we need more softies to grab their microphones, because so much of our lives now are being shaped and influenced by random voices on the internet, and a lot of those are negative, to put it like so super, super simply. Negativity and like fear mongering have a lot of clickbait power and a lot of influence in keeping people plugged in, and so they're very popular, and it's just kind of an easier way to cop out, just like sarcasm or nihilism are kind of like easy ways to cop out of like actually saying what you want to say, actually using your voice and feeling the mantle of responsibility for like how your words land. So yeah, public speaking has been gatekept in a lot of different ways. Like even like before the printing press, like a lot of like literacy was gatekept. You know, there was time when like only religious scholars like knew how to read and write, and like everybody else didn't. And you know, I actually like I want to bring into, or I try to bring into media making like a sense of sacredness, but not based on a religion, but just based on like the fact that life is sacred. And I think my biggest hero in like modern media making is Fred Rogers, because he took a format like television is similar to where we are now, in that like when it came out, the technology was just so much farther than people's ability to understand how intense the impact of it could be. And he had such a profoundly simple approach to making media that was just speaking directly to people's hearts. And, you know, I'm not saying that I'm any kind of Fred Rogers. I definitely like have a lot more spiciness than that, but I really admire that, and I really hold his vision in my heart, and I feel humbled by it like every time I come across a clip of him speaking to a child through the camera. It's kind of a tangent, but yeah, this part is just really reflecting on why you want to have a public voice, and think about the women in your family before you. That was something that really affected me. So if you don't have to go very far back. I mean, for most of us, even our mothers didn't really have a choice because of their socialization and then how late in their lives this technology came out. I mean, sometimes, you know, you see some grandmas on YouTube having a good time, but those are the exception. They're not the rule, you know? So you don't have to go very far back to see women who had absolutely no public voice. Absolutely not. It was not a choice in any way. And for me, that was something that motivated me a lot, because I just thought no one is going to tell me that I have this opportunity that is a very big deal now. But I have this opportunity that's a very big deal now. And you can think of like your grandmother and her grandmother especially, and how hard their lives were, and where did their voices go? You know, we have no record of them, and like what did they talk about with their friends, and like what were the words that got them through? Did they ever get to express themselves the way that they wanted to? And I don't think it's a coincidence that we're all alive at the time when we have this technology and this ability. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that we are here to fucking use it. And, you know, if you didn't care a lot about saying what you want to say on the internet, you wouldn't be listening to this right now, because the internet is so vast. You could literally be listening to anything. You could be looking at anything on YouTube. YouTube is insane. Like there's so much there. But you're listening to a workshop about how to step into your public voice because you care about it. Okay, so that's it. This is part 2. Write a declaration, write your name on it, address it to the universe, put it on your altar. It's starting. This is it. Welcome to this next part of your life. It's very exciting. I'm really grateful for you listening. I'm grateful for you existing, and I just know that your words are going to bring so much beauty into the world and open like little psychic doors and like windows that offer fresh air for people. It's very beautiful, and I love you.